Disinformation is not as simple as it sounds and can easily be confused with misinformation or fake news. Therefore, I wanted to provide the official meaning from Merriam-Webster, which defined it as false information deliberately and often covertly spread in order to influence public opinion or obscure the truth. That on its own can be difficult to maneuver in today's day and age. So imagine how difficult it must be to have a language barrier on top of that. A clear example of this can be seen when speaking on how inadequate the fact-checking resources are on social media platforms. Fact-checking organizations are a great and easy way to directly spot disinformation and misinformation being spread online. This program is seen hand in hand with the suspected post and does not require any extra steps to be done. I believe it is the simplest source in place to combat the spread of disinformation. That being said, though, this tool does not cover all languages and leaves minority language speakers to fend for themselves. According to an article titled Latinos in the U.S. Get Their News from Social Media, Exposing Them to Risk, written by Laura Zoomer, the data is clear. While 15% of people surveyed who identify as non-Hispanic white mentioned getting their news from social media, 57% of surveyed Latinos said they do. The percentage rises even higher to 74% among Latinos who prefer to consume their news in Spanish, which means that when platforms on social media cover urgent health stories, natural disaster precautions, or political propaganda, they run the risk of circulating in other languages without being properly translated or fact-checked, leaving minority speakers with a higher risk of taking disinformation as fact and possibly putting their lives in danger. When it comes to how disinformation spreads across different language communities, it really is quite simple. There is just not a variety of reliable news provided in all minority languages. As First Draft News wrote on their article titled Combating Misinformation in Under-Resourced Languages, Lessons from Around the World, India is home to 22 official languages, excluding English, and at least 500 unofficial ones, making it especially difficult for fact-checkers, journalists, and educators to ensure everyone has access to verified information. The spread of false information has had especially dangerous repercussions in the country, as rumors have incited attacks and riots against ethnic and religious minorities, leaving dozens dead in the past few years. Attacks like the one Mohammed Salman experienced, which began when a video of him and his friends giving nearby children chocolate circulated a WhatsApp chat with over 200 people who falsely accused them of being kidnappers. He was beaten unconscious while one of his friends were lynched. A BBC article goes on to say that at least 17 others have allegedly been killed in India over child kidnapping rumors since April 2018. In all of these cases, police say the rumors were spread via messages on WhatsApp. Investigations into these incidents have shown that people often forwarded false messages or doctored videos to large groups, some with more than 100 participants, and violent mobs would gather quickly and attack strangers, leaving police little to no time to respond. This is a perfect example of why non-native speakers gravitate to other news reporting and why the news should be more multilingual. One strategy that can be employed to combat disinformation is to enhance social media platforms. Social media companies hold a lot of responsibility on the line, and they should be doing a better job at labeling disinformation. This should be even more implemented in times of crisis and in specific subject matter. Another strategy that social media can implement is the change of the algorithm. A multifaceted approach is essential, including better regulations of the platforms that enable the spread of misinformation, as well as education initiatives to improve media literacy. This way, the likelihood of unreliable sources, even being on your own For You page, is not only decreased, but can be rest assured that the news you do receive has already been confirmed as trustworthy. Another strategy to avoid disinformation is by adding fact-checking websites to your arsenal. This is such an underrated, quick, and easy way to check the accuracy of the articles that pop up online. There are several that are all available on websites such as Snopes, factcheck.org, and PolyFact. Journalists, along with media organizations alike, play a huge role in ensuring accurate and reliable information reaches all audiences, which is why it is so important to report on multifaceted perspectives and have a diverse newsroom. This way, there is an unbiased representation, and the ones choosing what to focus on goes hand in hand with the audience's wants and needs. Another classic approach to ensuring accuracy in reporting is research. This step goes a long way and can otherwise be detrimental. On a smaller case, for example, in the midst of a cameraman for the YouTube group AMP, Any Means Possible, Complex falsely accused the member Chris Next Door for the inappropriate behavior involving a minor that was actually committed by their cameraman, also named Chris. I saw the consequences of this mistake firsthand as Chris Next Door's Instagram flooded with disappointed comments and went on to trend on Twitter. The hurt within this YouTube community was worsened because of this incident and led to Kai Cenat, the biggest streamer in the world, to cut complete ties and stop any future projects dead in its tracks.
Y'all had the nerve to put out a false article about one of the AMP members, and all you had to do was do 30 seconds of research. Hey, bro, listen to me. Chris Next Door ain't do shit. He's not part of any situations. He ain't do shit. He's one of the quietest. When you talk about Chris Next Door, he's literally minding his business. He don't do shit. He has yet to even come on y'all platform. He has yet to even do a lot of shits within his personal lane, my nigga. So for y'all niggas to do that is absolutely crazy. And I know we have a lot of shit that we were supposed to do in the future, Complex. There's a lot of shit that y'all wanted me for. I'm gonna go ahead and cut that tie right there, bro.
All in all, there are simple solutions to these big problems. It's all just up to us. We need to demand these policies so they can be implemented. The only reason platforms are so careless while putting out disinformation is because they know it'll get clicks and they think they won't be held responsible. This has to change because you can't fight against a problem you're not aware of or are disinformed about. We should be treating this topic just like every other right we fight for, because this really is the fight for all fights.